welcome into the Clocker Sports Roundtable. This is what we've been doing, man, for the past couple of weeks, and it's going to keep going on because I'm having a blast. I think the guys are having a blast, too, and it gives us a chance to all talk to you and show, how different we all really think because, man, let me tell you, we are some different thinking cats. So, without further ado, let's go and get right into it and bring in the rest of the guys. Guys? Matt? All right, so we're going to keep it high and tight on this episode. We've been kind of bouncing around the past couple of ones, but we got some stuff to talk about now. So I want to really just dive into what we've seen so far in the playoffs. We discussed the bubble a little bit last week, and we touched on some of our favorite teams and stuff like that. What's your impression so far of what we've seen? And we'll go back in reverse order. Matt? I agree with that. Steven? Will? Will?
Playing in a bubble, you don't have the crowds, you don't have the fans, so it's a different aspect to it now because everybody's just balling. Everybody and Portland is a testament to that. you talking about people taking advantage of second chances. Portland would have never been in the playoffs if it wasn't for this pandemic. You know what I mean? And you taking advantage of that. And again, you look at the stars like LeBron, AD, Giannis. They feed off the crowds, even the away crowds with the boos and everything. But without them having that, it's a different dynamic. Now they have to find another gear. They have to find something else that motivates them. And then you got the role players, guys that kind of cower under that pressure. They don't have the pressure of the crowds. They don't have the pressure of everybody rooting for somebody. It's just like, to me, it's just like an epic closed gym session with all the best hoopers in the world, just balling out. Yeah, guys not, now palms ain't as sweaty, muscles ain't as tight. It's just
knees weak, arms
I'm gonna
heavy.
show you. That's what I'm saying. Right, mom spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I'm not sure. Now I don't have the extra pressure of the crowd. No, I ain't got to worry about nobody putting nothing out on Twitter about me or Facebook or Instagram. I'm just hooping. There's nobody here but me and you, and I think it's just the purity of basketball. That's just my opinion.
Tony,
my opinion on it.
Yeah, everybody knows going into this series that the Blazers had the worst defense going into the playoffs. I mean, but then again, everyone else knew that the Lakers had the worst three-point shooting team. So, where were we going to go with this, So, in terms of betting, to be honest with you, I really had the Lakers sweeping. But obviously Game 1 was a different story. Dame Lillard, and there's nothing you can do about that. But as Steven was saying, today's a different story. They're actually playing up to their potential, the Lakers, that is. So I don't see the Blazers winning more than just Game 1.
Steven, I want to ask you, because you talked about the Dallas. I want to ask you about this series, though, with Portland. Do you think Portland has a chance to actually pull off the upset overall over 7 games?
I do not, unfortunately. I think they're so talented. I think if both teams stand healthy, it's potentially a best of 7 series. But the Blazers are very fatigued. They just don't have that wing defender to stop LeBron. I mean, the reason they won Game 1, I don't want to say the reason they won. They played actually really good team defense. But LeBron, although his stat line was filthy with 23, 17, and 16 or whatever, the only player in NBA history with 20, 15, and 15.
And they lost.
Exactly, because LeBron was not aggressive enough, and he was overpassing, and that's what Portland wants. They don't want LeBron to be aggressive. So I think LeBron is asserting himself more in this game. And if you are a Bulls fan, this is nothing new to you. I don't understand why we get confused. I've seen them lose Game 1 several times. Yeah. Maybe not in the first round like usual, but I've seen LeBron lose Game 1 several times. It's like
common knowledge. Yeah.
Exactly. And he comes back furious. There's no way you're stopping it. He's an all-time great. So again, I mean, max this series goes 6 games and probably a gentleman's sweep looking out the rest of the way, especially in this neutral territory.
Steven, again, I challenge that information, because again, you're talking about Michael Jordan.
Oh, you're coming up now. We're not having this discussion right now,
bro.
No, I'm not having. No,
I'm not
having that discussion. I'm not having that discussion.
Michael Jordan.
You're talking about Michael Jordan but again, Michael Jordan had shooters, right?
Yeah.
He had competent shooters, shooters that was just their specialty. The Lakers are struggling shooting.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stats now. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum are Damian Lillard 4 for 10, 1 to 5 from 3 points. CJ McCollum 4 for 12 shooters, right? Over 3 from 3 point.
Yeah.
3 point competent shooters. But do you think that's going to continue throughout the series? I understand, LeBron, you're not going to stop LeBron. And Anthony Davis, he still has to prove that he can play in big-time situations. Because Game 1, 21 points in the first half, great. 7 in the second half, they're not gonna get past anybody with those numbers. Because I'm not gonna rely on Kyle Kuzma or Green because their shooting is abysmal.
Right now,
right now, you think it's gonna get better?
Those are their ancillary pieces. Those are their ancillary pieces, though. If AD and LeBron have a great game, then what are the Blazers gonna do?
Lose.
Matthew, you were the Dame fan, but you were also the Melo doubter. So I want you to tell us what the Blazers have to do to A, get back in this game, and then B, win this series outright.
Well, it's actually a combination of what everybody has said. If you look at the reason they won game one, they held the Lakers to under 20 points in the third and fourth quarter. So it's about team defense and forcing the untested or unproven shooters. But the other thing they got to do, and it may be really, really, really tough, is force LeBron and AD out of the paint. Because the only way to use up those shooters is to push the much bigger and larger guys out of there. And that's where I think they struggle. And maybe they can do it, but they got to play like an 8th or 9th seed. They got to play chippy, and they got to absolutely make the refs say, okay, you may have to throw a couple of guys out of this game every night. Because if you saw, there were 4 people with 5 fouls when the game ended in game one. A little bit of that, a little bit of an edge. They have a chance, but I do think it's a slim one. I think Steven's got it. I think he's got it right. I think the most they can take is one more game. And I think that you'll need another 60 bomb out of Damian Lillard to get that. I
called Lakers in 6, so I have to agree with that too. Switching over. Go ahead.
Before we switch over, I really need to chime in. I understand. I'm tired of the blatant disrespect for Danny Green. I am tired of it.
Cardio Green?
Dude, Cardio Green, that man had the finals record originally for most 3-pointers. He buried LeBron James in the Miami Heat, and he made him go back to Cleveland.
How long ago was that?
I don't care about that. It's not first of all, he was in the finals last year, splashing the Warriors away. I don't want to play this nonsense. Shooting never dies. He's not dependent on his athleticism. Yeah. He knows his role. I'm not worried about Danny Green.
You're guaranteed a roster spot if you can play defense and if you can shoot. Guaranteed.
I know he's old. But the piss poor shooting is not gonna last. Whew. Just wait.
Ooh, that's a bold statement because I think
it won't last.
Even without Danny Green, not make a single shot, not make a single free throw, and they're still up by more than 20 in this game. So it doesn't have to get much better.
Hey, low key though, I would still take the Blazers live right now. The Blazers live, just from a betting perspective, are at +20, and I would definitely take that right now.
Sure, they're going to make a run.
They're going to come back and get close.
Yeah, they're at +19 right now live. I would easily take that bet.
Okay, so switching over to the series that Steven alluded to a little earlier, Dallas and the Clippers. We're staying in LA, kind of. We're still in Orlando, whatever. What's going on in that series? I want to start off with Steven because I know what he's about to lead off with. Steven, tell me what's up, man. What's happening with the Clippers and the Mavericks?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm very confused by what's occurring. Not to say I didn't call this, and it's way too early to go with it, but I was just saying beware of the Mavericks and their potential offense. I understand the Clippers are one of the better defensive teams in the league. They have probably the 2 best perimeter defenders. I don't know what the deal is, but I just like the flow of the Mavericks offense significantly more. The Clippers offense is stagnant. It's very dependent on Kawhi Leonard and Paul George mid-range pull-ups, and I don't know what to do with it. I know the Clippers aren't playing up to their potential, but there's no way this lasts the whole series, right? Because otherwise, Dallas at 6. It's not pretty.
Jesus.
Tony, you had a pretty serious reaction. What's
Come
up?
on, bro.
It's not pretty, man.
Come
Dude,
on.
When you're facing an all-timer, there's nothing you can do. They put that man in foul trouble yesterday.
But that's it. I mean,
that man put that man in foul trouble yesterday, and he had 28, 7, and 8.
Yeah, Luka's no joke. But the Clippers are the best team in the West. Go ahead and argue with me on that or debate me on that. But
not if they lose in the first round.
They're not going to lose in the first round. Are you kidding me? The Mavericks aren't as deep as the Clippers. The Mavs have Luka.
No, the Mavericks just don't have as many names as you know.
Okay. All right. But I'm just saying they're not as deep, just statistically, as deep as the Clippers are, including Lou Williams. Just go down the list. Lou Williams as their sixth man. The Mavs have Luka and Porzingis. And what has Porzingis brought up until recently, which is what? Last game when they matched the series? Go ahead, please.
I believe that the Clippers have only really legitimately outscored the Mavericks when Kristaps was not playing. If you do recall that they were up 15, if not more, when Kristaps got ejected. And I knew from that moment it was trouble.
If you do recall, how many games have the Clippers played in full strength? This is like the only a handful of times. Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna blame injuries. It's injuries' fault. All right. Now they're playing at full strength. And they're 2 games into one series? The Clippers are going to win this series, guaranteed.
I'm just making a ballsy call.
Like
your Blazers live plus 19. It's a ballsy call.
Hey.
It's a ballsy call. That's
You're right. Lakers are up 24 now.
Exactly, ballsy call.
Will, are injuries a valid excuse for what's going on with the Clippers right now?
What?
Are injuries a valid excuse?
No, I wouldn't say injuries are valid excuse because injuries happen in every sport. It's next man up. Like you mentioned, the Clippers are pretty deep. I think the big thing is, and I must say, the tentative best European player, Luka Doncic. As I said, Steven, he is nice. He is
super nice. Super nice.
I'm just calling it like I see it. And before,
that's right. I agree. I agree with you.
But Giannis is a 2-time MVP, bro.
Okay.
I can't put him over there yet.
In 15 years, Will, you're gonna be like, "Damn, Steven was right. Look, I should have listened to him."
And I don't see 7-3 players like Porzingis shooting. But past that, they really don't have.
I can see Luka getting back-to-back MVPs though too.
In the West,
this discussion is going to start happening next year.
Exactly, in the West. But
if
he dominates the West.
Right now.
You're right.
We're talking about right now. But again, it's not their time yet. I think the problem is with the Clippers, the chemistry is a little bit off. One, with the pandemic, and people don't understand how important Patrick Beverley is.
He was out yesterday.
He sets the tone. Defensively. Yeah. He's really they're really hurting with that calf strain injury that he's having, because you got Reggie Jackson in the start. Offensively, he's good, but defensively, he's not. And then he's not great, and then he doesn't have that fire that a Patrick Beverley has, and I think that's what get them started. And then again, with the biggest part of their team were actually not the starters. It was actually their second team.
Yeah, the bench. Absolutely.
Yeah, when Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell came in, you got basically 2 starters who pretty much would start on any other team in the league.
And Montrezl coming back from injury. Exactly. They haven't played together.
Well, he was coming from a funeral. And then Lou
Williams, my bad. Quarantine, coming back from quarantine.
Quarantine, then Lou Williams messing up going to get his Lou Pepper wings at the strip club.
I don't blame him anymore.
Them wings look flame, man.
Hey, fire. Fire. Can't wait to try them out.
Man, that's why I want to go try.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm there with you, Big Will.
But it wasn't anything like it's just the rules. And you out 4 months and you only got 8 games to prepare. You had the practice games, then you had the 8 regular season games. Montrezl Harrell just came back the first game of the playoffs.
Exactly.
So the thing with him, they just got to get their rhythm back.
He's just getting his legs under him.
I think they'll get it third, fourth. Even if this goes 7, Clippers gonna win because they just too deep.
Matt, okay, they're talking about Lou Williams and Montrez. Trez has been pretty much useless. I know he's just coming back, but I don't see how much he's going to do against 7'3", and then you still got 6'10" and Dwight Powell if they even play him. Maxi Kleber's out there, 6'10". Exactly. My question to you, Matt, is Paul George. That's the guy that I think the attention needs to be on because while he and Kawhi had put up the points the first game. Game 2, Paul George was just out there going fishing and looks really off. And then you saw him in the post game icing up. What's up with Paul George? Are you worried about Paul George, Matt?
No, honestly, I think you can win this entire series without Paul George. You look at the experience throughout the lineup, not just the age experience, but also the deep, deep playoff runs. People usually forget it's not just Kawhi that has a lot of experience. Paul George always go deep in the playoffs. And yeah, if you don't have him, it gets a little rougher, but Pat Bev has an edge you can't teach. And you look on the other side, Kristaps Porzingis has been banished in New York for I don't know how long. I mean, Tim Hardaway probably hasn't played a significant game since he was in Michigan. I don't know, comparatively. Like, off the bench, I think someone mentioned depth. I think it was Big Will that mentioned that first. You have Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Trey Burke, DeLon Wright contributing a total of 8 points combined. What is Boban supposed to be the main scorer off the bench? Other than Seth Curry, who is going to be a contributing scorer to give the first 5 a break? Because Seth has good games in the playoffs, but he is not a talent that will be that consistent going forward. As the games go on, you'll see less and less of Seth.
Preach, Matt. Preach.
Right,
Where's their depth? Where are the Mavs' depth?
Time out. I don't have to tell you. First of all, Paul George.
Go ahead.
Paul George does not go deep in the playoffs every year. He hasn't been out of the first round since 2014.
Ooh, okay.
But he goes to the playoffs, right?
Congratulations.
Okay. Yeah.
Who doesn't? Like, I mean, the first round, like, I'm just saying, Paul George is great. He is a solid
he's
talent.
great. Regardless, he can still lead a team to the playoffs, and he's not the number one guy on the Clippers.
Yeah, you're right. Can't argue with you.
Paul George also didn't have this level of talent except for maybe OKC, but he only had Russell Westbrook. The rest of them wasn't like the Clippers
they lost
lineup.
to a one-man Damian Lillard.
Yeah, because it was a two-man team, and they had no one. It was Paul George and Russell Westbrook. That's it. How are you going to win?
Hey, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Damian Lillard is a superstar.
You guys want to disrespect Danny Green because it was 6 years ago? I'm just saying.
Who's disrespecting Danny Green? I love Danny Green.
Why you bring it up, Danny Green?
I'm just saying.
Danny Green
it's about the years ago argument. That's all.
I want to know what I missed about Danny Green. That's what I want to know.
If Danny Green wouldn't have been in San Antonio, he would have been trash anywhere else.
He's a great.
He's benefit from their situations. That's part of it.
He's a role player. I mean,
yes, he's a great role player. Thank you, Will.
You guys, I'm not trying to compare Danny Green to Paul. Never mind. Just move on. They don't understand. They just move on. They don't understand. It's
but
fine.
who is disrespecting? Cool. Who disrespected Danny Green? That's what I don't understand.
No, we're not talking about the disrespect. We're not talking about the disrespect of Danny Green.
You mentioned that earlier.
Okay, I did because you did, but that's besides the point.
I didn't disrespect him.
You were talking about him being. Never mind. It's not.
Is he not shooting well? Is he not shooting well?
We're not talking about that.
What's his role play?
Matt's argument was for Paul George making the playoffs every year. He hasn't been there. He hasn't been past the first round in 6 years. That's my argument there.
Mr. Ryan, did you bring up Danny Green? Nobody said Danny Green but you.
I know how I brought him up and what context I brought him up.
But you kept saying disrespect. You just said that a minute ago, right?
No, I was talking about you guys were using how Danny Green shot well 6 years ago, not. Never mind. It's not.
Never said that in my life. I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's not shooting well in this. I said he's not shooting well.
Never mind. The games have to be played.
You and Danny Green.
The end.
Games on replay.
I ain't trying to hurt your feelings over Danny Green.
Not hurting my feelings. It's not worth explaining to you. That's my point. It's not worth explaining because it's a deep, disconnect. That's all. Just go on.
What about we'll switch gears. I see this one is still a contentious series. What do you guys think about the Utah Jazz and that series against the Denver Nuggets? That one seems to be a back and forth. Utah got, I don't want to say spanked, but they definitely didn't look good the first game. They came back this game though and looked a lot stronger. What do you guys think about that?
Good 7-game series.
Thank you.
Don't know who's gonna win, honestly. Yeah. It's all about how Michael Porter Jr. develops. Honestly, that's like the key. That's the key difference for me.
Hey, if they don't figure out that Donovan Mitchell matrix, Dude, 43 points a game.
Yeah, that's true.
At these first two games, man, that they like have no answer for him, and that's without Mike Conley Jr.
Yeah.
Imagine when he come back.
He's quarantining, right?
He'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw.
He's back on campus. I mean,
Donovan Mitchell's Instagram.
Yeah. All right, good.
The thing about me for them is that I didn't think the series was going to go 7, but I don't think either one of these teams is really a championship or a championship contender, so it wouldn't surprise me. What I am surprised about though is I think Denver is still a better team, and it surprises me that no matter what, that they allowed Utah to come back and win that game. So my question to you is, how quickly do they get dispatched in the next round more than anything? We know you guys think that it's a pretty evenly matched series. What do you guys think happens to them if either one? We'll start off with Denver first. If Denver were to advance, what happens to them next round?
Well, first,
go ahead,
to be honest with you, I want to enjoy this series because this is probably going to be the most entertaining series of the first round between these two teams because they're the most evenly matched. But regardless of who moves on, I know you, JB, you mentioned Denver, which they'll probably most likely move on at least as the consensus. I could see them winning a game or two in the second round.
Will?
Denver.
Will looking up stats over here, bro. I see you. I see the phone off your glasses.
I definitely got to check the stats. But I think Denver is a surprise team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Denver Nuggets they not no slouch. You know,
are they a surprise team though? They're the number 4 seed, are they not?
Yeah, they done. Well, let me double check that.
Oh, come on.
No, they did number
3 and 6.
They did number 3 seed.
Oh, 3 and 6?
They did number 3 seed. So they'll end up playing. They'll either end up playing the Rockets or the Thunder.
No, they're gonna play the Clippers or Mavs.
No, I'm sorry. The Clippers or the Mavericks.
All right. So then, are they really a surprise
They're
team
gonna
though?
play the Clippers. I'm sorry, they're gonna be playing the Clippers.
Well, even if they play I think they match up well with the Clippers.
They do. They got some talent on multiple levels.
They are deep.
The emergence of Michael Porter Jr., Jamal. Look, let's not forget about Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray and Jokic is pretty much a walking triple double.
Yes, sir.
While we talking, I mean,
Michael Porter Jr. is
preach.
I'm saying that team is, they under the radar. I mean, I know a lot of people look at them like because they got beat by Portland to go to the last year to go to the Western Conference,
and because they're a young team, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, but again, Michael Porter Jr. wasn't playing last year, and this year he's looking like a stud in this bubble. So, and I believe this is the best situation for people to come up with upsets. Again, you don't have as much pressure as no home court advantage. All we doing is balling, and if somebody gets hot and somebody gets cold. Like I said, if the Clippers keep playing like if they hobble through the Mavericks and they do the same thing against the Nuggets, they won't get past the Nuggets in the next round.
Yeah, here's the thing though, real quick before we get to Matt. If the Clippers hobble through, that's just a precursor as to how the Clippers are going to dominate in the following round. Everyone, including Vegas, is going to be like, yeah, the Clippers aren't going to do anything. Just like with the Bucks losing game 1 to the Magic, they'd be like, oh, they're not up to par coming to the playoffs, right? But no, the cream always rises to the top, right? That's what's going to happen in the playoffs. Like the better players always play their best, and they're going to beat everyone else. That's what happens.
Well, all I'm saying is don't be surprised. Like last year when Milwaukee played Toronto, everybody expected Milwaukee to walk over Toronto, and what Toronto ended up in the finals. That's the same thing that can happen with Denver and the Clippers.
Yeah.
Matt?
Yeah, I'll make this really short and quick. I really, really, really love the Denver offense with all the threats. But on defense and rebounding, I don't think they can hang with the edge that the Clippers have. I actually like that matchup with the Mavericks a lot more. I think they should pray that they face the Mavericks just because those are two scoring teams that really, really don't have a lot of defense and rebounding when it comes to, late in the game. Can we get a stop? As evidenced by Donovan Mitchell going off in all 4 quarters in both games.
What do you guys think? So who would you say now, if you had to pick, would be your team coming out the West? I still say it's the Lakers. Are you guys on board with that, or you guys have a dark horse coming out? Because we didn't even touch on the other team that I'm going to get to in a second, but I want to ask where you are right now real quick.
Clippers.
Steven?
Lakers.
Matt?
Clippers.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, I'll talk all that stuff. I'm still on the Lakers because they're the favorites. Look, let me tell you, bro. Hey, let me tell you my reason. Let me tell you my reason.
The law of averages.
Because the bubble right. Exactly. You're right. Hey, Steven, you're right. The bubble is so unpredictable. And I look at like the hot teams coming in at the end of the season, and then the pandemic, and not a bubble. I just have to go with the players that. Yeah,
but Will, real quick,
I'm not betting against LeBron. Just like how we never betted against.
Well,
Mike,
I am. I'm betting with Kawhi. But here's the thing. I know how you keep bringing up the bubble, right? And everything's a surprise, but the Suns were that surprise, right? In that small 8 regular season, whatever they had before, tune-up before they had. This is the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, this is a different story. When it comes to the playoffs, the better teams with the better players are going to be there at the end. That's the difference. And I'm going with the Clippers because they're a deeper team and they're a better team and they have better players than the Lakers other than AD and LeBron. That's it. That's why I'm going with the Clippers.
Well, I believe in somebody getting hot. Kuzma can get hot. Kuzma can get hot. Kuzma is a walking bucket.
And that's why this is the playoffs. You don't think someone that's getting hot can shut someone down like that in the playoffs? They can't single them out and gear their defense towards that one player.
Can't the Clippers do that and they still can't stop Luka?
They can. The Clippers can. It's the first round, bro.
But I personally think Kuzma is a big X factor. Yeah. And the issue is, one, nobody's going to be able to contain LeBron.
Wait till playoff Rondo gets in the mix.
Right. And then you got
Kuzma's an ancillary piece.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
Rondo gets in the mix.
He's a high risk, high reward type player. But AD and LeBron together, that pick and roll game, there's nobody stopping.
It's deadly. It's deadly. You're right.
I think there's one team we're not talking about enough, and actually, I don't think we've even said their name. The Toronto Raptors are basically just one play removed from their championship. And they're just an afterthought. I don't think that's quite.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the Eastern. We've been sticking to the West. Right. Yeah.
I didn't
there
forget
are 2
about
players
Toronto.
removed because one was never mind.
All right.
No.
Matt was ready. Matt said, "Don't forget about Canada."
I said Toronto was a bubble buster.
Yo, I got
Toronto with my bubble buster.
We're gonna step away real quick so I can figure out what's going on with the Facebook stream. And when we come back, we're gonna talk about not only the Eastern Conference, but we gotta also talk about what's
Clippers NBA Finals.
Because I think real quick, let me just get your real quick thoughts on the OKC and the Houston Rockets. They're done, right? OKC is done. If they couldn't get these 2 games without Russ, they're toast, right?
Yeah.
Been real. It's been real.
Done.
Okay.
They're a great story.
Yeah, right. It was a fun while it lasted type of story. Okay, cool. Making sure we're all on the same page.
James Harden is on another level.
I took myself off.
Show your face, bro.
Showcase.
Come on.
This is the showcase.
Goodness.
James Harden on another level.
I'm telling you, Jay's turn now.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna switch gears, talk about the Eastern Conference, and get to those Toronto Raptors that Matt was so anxious to tell us about. It's the Clock Sports Roundtable. And we are back now with the Clocker Sports Roundtable, and we are talking about we're switching gears to the Eastern Conference. We just did an entire rundown of the Western Conference, and I think everybody's not necessarily in agreement, but we've all kind of hashed out our differences, and we know where we stand. Basically, it's not over. Most of these series are going to be going for a long time, and we got to wait to see what happens. If you can hear what's going on in my ear right now, these guys is wilding. But we're switching gears now to the Eastern Conference. And before we went over, you had Matt Dahlberg talking about the Toronto Raptors. He wanted to get that off his chest. So I think we're going to start with you, Matt. Tell us what you want to tell us about the Toronto Raptors. They are now 2-0 on the Brooklyn Nets, the very depleted Brooklyn Nets. So I want to just throw that out there. Matt, what you think about that?
Yeah, but
Easy
if you
money.
look, this game was over in the first game. You have 7 players with double digits. Every single person is contributing. And how about this stat? When was the last time a team shot 97% from the free throw line in the game? Everybody is locked. I mean, locked in. And it's weird to call a number 2 team a sleeper, but how often have we heard, I don't want to use the line mainstream,
reigning champ,
but how have we heard the reigning champs, not only the moment they won, they were discredited, but, you know, when Kawhi there's a certain person that Steven wants to talk about that left that team. I'll let him go on.
Mostly Kawhi.
Yeah, but you said number 2. You kept bringing up those fingers to the screen, man.
Because again, you just discredited him.
Go, Steve. Then go, Steve. What you got, bro?
Let's not pretend that Kawhi is on the same level as your man.
It's not.
I do mean your man. But anyway, Toronto is playing on another level right now, and I mean, Fred VanVleet. Who thought this guy was capable of 30 and 11 in a playoff game? Other than
not only 30 and 11, he was 8 of 10 from downtown.
Yes,
the other night.
from 3, man.
Was he
Fred VanVleet, Joliet's own, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Was he a second round pick?
Undrafted.
He was undrafted. Are you kidding me? He was the last player to make the squad on Toronto.
Calm down.
Hey, Fred VanVleet played in the G League.
Hey, stop.
I saw him up in personal playing in the G League.
You know what? He set me up for that. He set me up. He wanted me to get aroused.
Aroused?
Yeah, that's what I
want
meant.
you to get aroused.
I got both in the middle there. I mixed them up.
Gosh.
Thank you.
Will?
Hey, I'm with Matt, man. Like I said, I think Toronto wouldn't get the respect that they deserve this year. Well, I think they had the third best record in the league. They're defending NBA champ. They lost Kawhi Leonard, and people said, "Oh, they washed up this and that." They forget they had the reigning coach of the year, Nick Nurse. They had the most improved player in Pascal Siakam, and Pascal Siakam has got better. His 4th year. He's gotten better every year. He's an all-star now. He's showing that he's more of a, he's going into that superstar stratosphere.
Yes, sir.
They were paced by veterans, Kyle Lowry, who is a perennial all-star, and then Serge Ibaka, who was a solid player. And then you got young talent with Powell. Then you got OG Anunoby from Indiana.
Chris Boucher.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know much about him, but OG, Pascal, Lowry, and Fred VanVleet. You can't say much. He's the hard hat guy. He's the guy like, dude. You look at him, you like, wait a minute, this dude dropped me off for 30 and 11. He was like 8 for 10 from 3-point land. And as Matt said, that he mentioned the first game that they played great, 97% from the free throw line in the first game. Second game, they played
shots. 33 shots.
They played second game, they still won 104-99 and played terrible. They was 38 to 87 from the field. They shot 9 of 35 from the 3-point line. Free throws, there was 19 to 28. That was 67.9%. 22 assists. Basically, they as a team they pretty much lost everything statistically, but they still won. You know what that tells me? That's a championship caliber team. Even though when you playing bad, you still find a way to win. Even though the Nets.
Oh, well, preach, baby.
Even though the Nets are depleted, they still have players that's balling. With what's that?
Karis LeVert, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. They still got core players, but Toronto. I picked Toronto actually to go to the finals in the East. I think they still had the ability to beat Milwaukee because they still got that core. And what Kawhi left, Pascal Siakam, I believe, filled in that spot. And then with the upgraded play of Fred VanVleet and OG coming in with the dirty work, I mean they still got the recipe to go to the finals. But don't sleep on Brooklyn. Next year with Kyrie.
Next year.
No, I'm just saying. Just a mention.
But here's the thing, though. You know how much of a lock I'm looking at FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm looking at DraftKings Sportsbook. And the fact that they don't have that series of the Nets and the Raptors as who is going to win that series on the line, that's how you know that they're a huge favorite. They don't have that up. Like, I can't even bet that right now. I can't bet that line. I can't bet that series on either website right here. So that goes to show you that Vegas, not only us, but Vegas is supporting the Toronto Raptors here to dominate that series. They're dominating a sweep. So if I looked it up before the series started, the Raptors were at what I want to say plus 180 to win the series. And if you bet them at plus 180, it was a lot. But here we go. Like, no one knows if they're going to sweep them. But everyone except maybe Steven, because he has been looking at me awkwardly since we started, is everyone thinks – now I'm losing my train of thought. Everyone is on board here as for the Raptors to sweep the series, right? Are we not on board with that? Okay,
so then Starens was in agreement with you.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I apologize because I don't know if you're on board with the Raptors because along with Matt and I are on board with the Raptors making it to the finals. And I don't see why or where the disrespect is coming from. Okay, Kawhi left the team, but other players are stepping up. Nick Nurse is a beast of a coach, and he deserves the respect. And everyone else on this Raptors roster deserves the respect.
Hey, I'm with you with Toronto going to the finals too as well.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
I think y'all going to be 3-2 on this. Steven, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, the Raptors should sweep this series. The Nets are extremely undermanned. I don't know. It's kind of a disappointment if they don't.
All right, we're talking about the Eastern Finals now, Steven. Steven and JB
we're talking about this series right here.
We're talking about this series.
All right.
We'll talk about
you said 3-2. You said 3-2, making it seem like us three against you two, not in terms of them not making to the finals.
Hey, this series is null and void.
Right, exactly. That's why I
didn't know it was a series.
That's why I just automatically went to the Eastern Conference Finals because the Raptors are there, right? Against who? Eastern Conference Finals against who? The Celtics?
See, the problem is you're crowning them Eastern Conference. You're saying that they're going to represent or they're going to make it, but we're basing that off of how they're doing against the Brooklyn Nets, who, while we can say that, sure, they're the underman, but they got guys. They're not just missing any two guys. Like, they're missing two stellar players.
And I don't think Jared Allen's even there.
KD and Kyrie Irving, their team is not – that's not the real team. You're not playing them.
I'm talking about this series. Yeah, okay, this series and then the Celtics in the next series.
Now they
won't play the Celtics.
They'll play.
They won't play the Celtics. They'll play the Celtics. They'll play the Celtics.
Okay. So if it's the Celtics, I'm not sure they're not going to have this easy of a time going against the Celtics.
I'm not saying they're going to have this easy of a time. I'm just saying they're going to beat the Celtics in the following series. Okay, where'd you go? You disappeared on that one.
And that's where I'm having qualms with this discussion.
Yeah, and I love the Celtics, but you know what happened? You know what's wrong with the Celtics? They can't score. The Celtics cannot score.
They just dropped 128.
And what happened? The last game before the playoffs started?
We're about the playoffs.
They scored 90 points. They barely scored 90 points.
Okay, and the Lakers had the worst offense in the bubble, and people are picking them to go to the finals. Things happen.
Cool. All right, we'll see. We'll see
You're
what
right.
happens.
We will
We'll
see.
see what happens.
That's the beautiful thing about this.
I got the Raptors, you got the Celtics, and I
don't
love
have
Jason
the Celtics
Tatum. Yes, you do. That's it.
Okay.
You already.
I was just saying you
Throwing
gotta
it
be
out there.
open. It's not gonna be as easy as you think it is.
No, I'm
That's
not
my
saying it's
point.
going to be easy. I'm just saying the Raptors are going to represent the East.
Okay, but like everyone wants to know, can Jason Tatum step up into that tier of a role?
He
and
can,
if he does, your Raptors are in trouble.
My Raptors, okay, is Jaylen Brown going to step up to Jason Tatum's
He's
role?
been doing that
Jaylen
this
Brown-
year.
There you go.
He's
There
been
you go.
doing that this
See,
year.
this is why I took myself out the view because you don't need me. You can
Siakam is
get.
going to be a problem for Jason.
True, that's very true.
Bro,
But if Jaylen Brown would like to commit
Raptors
some
are
time to
deep.
Fred Van,
they're deep.
they are stacked with aged talent like the Lakers.
So let's switch gears to that Celtics series. Is there any possibility that the Philadelphia 76ers can pull it out?
No.
That might be another sweep.
No.
It's another sweep, actually. I don't see how a one-man crew of
Not
Joel
even
Embiid
worth
can
talking
steal a
about.
game.
No Ben Simmons or lazy.
No Simmons, it's over.
Here's the question then. I don't want to skip over Philly because they worked hard to get here. Matt, are you agreeing with this? It's probably a sweep. Real quick before I say this.
Yeah,
Gentlemen?
I think the process has gone downhill quite a way. Do we even call them the process anymore, or this
he's
is
been
the retirement
gassed.
process?
He's been
No,
gassed.
they want the results now.
Their window
So-
is slam shut.
So here's the question, and that brings me to my question. Do you keep these two together? We're not even going to talk about Brett Brown. I would assume Brett Brown is gone.
He's
Do
gotta
you
be.
keep these two together? And Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons.
Man,
You
it's
can't.
just
You can't do
two
it.
players that have limits. One injuries and the other one a jump shot. It's kind of big deals, isn't it? I think you got to break off one of them, if not both, right?
Steven?
Yeah, you got to trade one of them. The argument between both of them is a whole nother discussion because I'm sure we would be split in different ways on that one. But one of them needs to go. And yeah, those are the two questions. You're right, exactly. Joel Embiid, can he stay healthy? And Ben Simmons, and a lack of jump shot, yes, but also a lack of willingness to take a shot. More importantly, like that's the part
My
that
bigger
worries me.
concern for Ben Simmons is the free throw shooting. I would be okay with him not taking jumpers if he could make people pay for sending him to the line. But he's
that's very true.
a very subpar free throw shooter. And I'm surprised it doesn't get much more talk because remember with guys like Shaq and stuff, they always talk about, oh, he's horrible at the free throw, and that's his weakness. Screw the jumper, bro. Hit them free throws. They'll stop seeing to the line.
Yes,
You
sir.
don't have
Yeah,
the
but
lanes.
like Shaq said, if he would have been, if he could have been able to shoot free throws, God would have made him the perfect player.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly. It's a major gap. And again,
Even that's the best thing you see it all day, baby. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Tony, what's your thoughts on this? Are you
Well,
keep
we'll
them
talk
together? Or you
about
split
that.
them up?
Wait, hold on. Now I'm lost on my train of thought because of Steven. But wait, what are we going on here?
Are we breaking up Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, or we keep them together?
There's been a lot of trade talk about Ben Simmons going other places. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they get split up. But I still think Joel Embiid, with a counterpart, can lead the Sixers to the finals. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get split up, to be honest with you.
Will?
It's time to break that up. They do not have.
Hey, Steve, I love you.
They do not have a dynamic to work with each other because both of them have kind of the same type of I got all this talent, but I'm not gonna work on it mentality.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons, if he got a mid-range jumper, this dude would be like
If he has
one
a
of the
3-point, Will, real quick.
It ain't even got to
question.
be a 3-pointer, just a
Doesn't.
mid-range. He'd be
Or a
one of the
post-game.
most
Yeah,
unstoppable
exactly.
players.
But who's the better player? Will, who's the better player? Ben
I
Simmons
believe-
or
I-
Embiid?
I believe Ben Simmons because it's a guard league.
Really?
He can do
Hey,
more.
Really?
He's a
Will.
walking he's another
Big Will.
walking triple double.
I'm gonna say
He's
this.
another
I'm gonna say
walking
this.
triple double.
I agree with-
Now you want to show your.
I've already showed it a few times.
Oh
When
yeah,
it
but
gets
now,
big,
but
I
now
gotta
when
bring it out. Well, I agree with Will. I think. Well, I'm gonna
Is that a
qualify.
snowball
I think,
microphone?
Yes, it is.
I love
think.
it.
I think.
Hey, I know
Embiid-
Matt. I know Matt has my. All right, go ahead,
Embiid,
JB.
Embiid is probably the more dominant player, right? He's the more like unicorn type player. However, I think Ben is the
Generational
more
talent.
important player. I think Ben is the more important player because of the fact that you need somebody to orchestrate the offense. For all the talent Embiid has, he's going to always need a point guard to set things up.
He
Who's
depends on another
Hey, real
player.
quick. Hey, JB,
Depends
real
on
quick.
another
Who's?
player.
Wait, hold on, Big Will. Who? Oh, hey, JB, show your face. Hey, who's orchestrating? Hey, who's orchestrating the Clippers offense right now?
And that's why they look like trash because they don't have any playmakers
Thank you.
out
That's
there.
why they're gonna win this chip, right? All right, cool. I got you. That's it. That's all I need to know.
Who said that? I said the Lakers win.
You're the
said
only
that.
person that thinks that. I think they
I
might
said
not even
that.
get out of the first round.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Money.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
But no,
What do I get the odds at?
I think that if you're
Money.
talking
Put
about
money on it.
Joel
Let's
Embiid
go.
and Ben Simmons, that Joel is the more talented guy, I guess you could, if you want to say it that way. But Ben is the more important to actually having team success because you need somebody to actually operate
The
offense.
distributor.
I can go with that. Yeah, distributor. I
can't
can
even
agree
s-
on that.
I can't even say Joel Embiid is the better talent because being a 6'10" point guard.
No, yeah,
That-
no.
that's a rematch.
JB was saying Joel Embiid was the better talent.
Right, because a 7-footer who can do everything on the floor. Look, he's not the ball handler that Ben Simmons is, but Joel can handle the ball and pass. I'm just saying, for what the game needs today, Ben Simmons is probably the more important player. But
Right.
Joel is definitely, I think, more talented
Mm-hmm.
for whatever that's worth.
But if he had the mentality, I think Joel is just lazy. He has the talent, but he doesn't have the work ethic to be the best.
He's
Like,
never in shape.
He's like the Dr. Jekyll and
Wait.
Mr. Hyde of basketball.
Wait.
One night
Wait.
he can be the best looking player in the league.
Oh, hold
the
on.
next night you want to throw him away. Like, dude, what are you
Whoa.
doing?
He's in a series he knows he can't win by himself. He's doing 34 minutes, 34 points, and he's not even lazy on the free throw line. You remember when we talked about Shaq at being a unicorn, except he can't, free throw? He's the perfect player. He's the perfect player because at least he shoots free throws. The only knock on him is he can't get on the floor enough. How many other players can we say that is their limit? That is the
I
only.
feel like I
limiting
missed the
factor.
whole
But it's his
point
attitude.
that
I will just caution you, Matt, and say the most important ability is availability.
Agreed. But I mean, absolutely. But if you're going to talk about more important players, yeah, Jordan never won without Scotty. So you can argue Scotty's more important. But at the end of the day, the best player is the best player.
Are we comparing Michael Jordan to Joel?
No. I'm comparing a situation. I will not do that.
Which one's more crazy?
Oh, no.
Should I mute my mic again? I don't even know what I just walked into.
No.
Same discussion.
I'm not doing that.
We're not getting. No, I hear what you're saying. It's going to take multiple people, and I'm not saying either one of them is winning anything by themselves.
Sure.
What I'm saying is, if we're debating it, and I'm a person who will split hairs on being the best as opposed to being the greatest. So I'm not going to say that I'm not splitting hairs.
Okay.
My point is.
So
that
what you mean by the best? You mean best by the era?
talent. I think talent is one thing, and then the ability to actually overcome that and reach heights. So if we're being, if you want my basic example, I think LeBron is the most talented basketball player ever. He is the best in that regard. But Jordan is the greatest because of what he accomplished. So I think that's where I get to. And I know that's a semantics type of deal and whatever for another day.
It's semantics, but that's worth a tweet right there, JB. I can't believe you haven't put that out there, baby. As soon as we end this stream, I'm there. Anyway,
we gotta talk about the 1 seed in the East though. The Bucks. What's up, man? Are y'all worried about the Bucks? I know they came back today and clapped them cheeks.
Greatly.
I'm not worried about the Bucks until they run into Toronto.
Thank you, Big Will.
I'm not worried about the Bucks until they run into whatever team comes out on the other side.
Okay.
Whoa,
All right,
okay.
Steven.
I hear you.
All right, hey. All right,
Matt?
tell me how they're gonna win the East. Please explain how they're gonna win the East. Giannis and what else? You literally just said you're not worried about any other team other than the team that comes out of the West. Please explain how this team is gonna.
Remind my mans who the greatest
Giannis and what else? Please let me know because I missed the whole. I missed the whole spiel. I missed your whole spiel. Let's go. What?
Giannis. I mean,
that's it. That's the answer.
I mean, that's all they need allegedly.
You sounded so confident.
First of all, I said I'm not worried about. And when I said other side, I meant the other side of the Eastern bracket.
Nah, you meant the West, bro. Stop lying. You meant the West.
Do the Raptors have anybody that's better than Giannis? Is Giannis the best player? Okay, in the NBA,
mathematically,
typically the team with the best player on the floor wins. That's why they do 7-game series. So,
and if you listen to me earlier, I said the cream rises to the top, but also the deeper team has a bigger say.
Okay.
No. Go ahead. Give me that steak
if that was the
face,
case,
baby.
Listen.
If that was the case, then Boston should have been in the finals already.
Exactly.
Oh, bro, come
By
on.
mathematics standards.
Keep saying mathematics.
The problem with Milwaukee, like you said, they had the best player and the best record last year in Giannis.
And that's about it. Yes.
But again, they did Chris
And
Middleton.
it's the same thing
Chris
this
Middleton
year.
is an all-star. I mean, they got a little bit better,
Overrated.
but the problem with Milwaukee is that they need the players to shoot, just like any other team.
Yeah.
The player, you need your Chris Middleton to shoot. They got Kyle Korver. He needs to step up and hit shots.
Problem is they need someone better than Chris Middleton.
Okay, but
They got Giannis,
sure.
but they need someone better than Chris Middleton. Chris
sure.
Middleton's the 1B. They need someone better than Chris Middleton.
Well, I think they have better supporting cast this year.
They have a good supporting cast. Yeah.
All they were missing was consistent shooting. They
Yeah.
went out and got Kyle Korver. They went out and got Wesley Matthews, and they got Chris Middleton. Between those three
Wesley
guys,
Matthews, I agree.
Yeah, between those three guys, you should have the consistent shooting you need to lift them up to the finals if they get past Toronto. But it depends, again, on what Chris Middleton does, Wesley Matthews, and how Kyle Korver shoot.
All right, Tony, do not interrupt me as I go about this. Please.
All right, cool. I'm sorry.
Please, just listen.
I apologize.
All right.
I'm listening.
So,
I'm all ears,
I don't
baby.
think the Bucks are.
I'm all ears. What'd you say?
I don't think the Bucks are the end-all, be-all of all teams. I think the winner is going to be from the West, either the Clippers or the Lakers. So chill. So
I'm done. That's it. That's all you had to say.
When the Bucks face either the Raptors or let's say they face the Raptors, as you are predicting, I'm sure Giannis is going to go into that series thinking, my talent has improved from last year. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. They don't
100%.
they don't have the man that was guarding me last year, aka the Claw, who allegedly is the best defender in the game. Is that what he's going to say entering the series?
Yeah, here's the thing,
and he's going to be like, who's going to stop me?
Here's the thing, though. Going into that series, is Giannis going to be like, hey, I'm the best player in the East, which he is.
He will tell that to himself.
He will?
Oh,
he will?
Absolutely.
Because if he will and he loses that Eastern Conference Final Series, then what's going to happen?
That's a different discussion for a different
going
day.
to Golden State.
Exactly.
Like
he's going somewhere else. I don't know if he's going to Golden State, but he's going somewhere else.
That's my point.
Like if he loses this series or if he goes down 2-0, that's it. He's checked out, bro. He's trying to go to somewhere else.
Okay.
If he goes down 2-0,
we were discussing that.
Checked out.
First of all, I agree with you. I've told you Giannis is going to Bentley more.
I think we got to get Matt's take. Matt's been just waiting quietly.
Yeah,
Matt,
I know. Matt has been on my side.
What's up? How do you feel about these Bucks?
First of all, I'm not in love with the Bucks. I think they're a team that still has so much to prove. I do think Toronto comes out of the East, but I wanted to mention really, really quick, Miami is playing like a team possessed. Indiana gives hard series.
I love Miami, by the way.
Yeah, Indiana gives hard series to everybody every year, even sometimes when they don't have Oladipo. You have Oladipo back, not perfect, not exactly where he was, but you had what a lot of people were calling the bubble MVP in TJ Warren. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but both of those players are contributing, and Miami's 2-0 on a really, and I mean really good team from an Eastern Conference perspective.
Hey, low key though, real quick, Matt. Why has the Indiana Pacers always found an outcast star player in terms of Victor Oladipo, in terms of
George at a point.
Paul George, in terms of why am I blank?
I'll go deeper. Jakar Sampson.
TJ Warren. I mean, why have the Pacers always found that player? Why?
Because good scouting, and that's what keeps Indiana relevant. They have really, and I mean really good scouting. I really wish Indiana. I know it's a small market team.
Thank you.
They ever, and I mean ever. This is going back into the Reggie Miller days. They've always had talent, but they're missing not just a big star, but a big name to elevate
The
that
star,
city.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll close.
What happened?
Hey, well, it's on you, baby.
I'm
Baby,
sorry.
let's go.
We still talking about the Bucks?
No, we're
on
talking
Miami,
about
the Heat, Miami. Because Matt is the transition king.
Yeah,
That's
I
what-
keep the show moving, man. We gotta
Sir
talk about
Segway.
I'm sorry, you talking about Miami?
Yeah.
Miami Pacers,
is
bro.
there.
What you got?
No, Miami is there for
Oh,
entertainment.
no.
No, we're cutting
No Pacers, just Miami.
No Pacers. I mean, the Pacers, they had TJ Warren.
No,
Yeah,
they're
he
good.
showed
But
he,
yeah.
he showed he was the MJ of the bubble, but the Heat are better coached. Then you got
Jimmy Butler.
So
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, one of my favorite players in the league. Nunn, Adebayo, who again is showing that he's gonna be a superstar in the league. I mean they're gonna get past they're gonna get past the Pacers, but they don't have enough to compete with the rest of the East.
No, the reason I talked about the Miami Heat is actually I wasn't trying to transition. I was trying to say that I think the Bucks lose to the Heat, and that's my really big upset pick.
Are
So
you serious?
That's
That's a
me.
good- that's
I
a
was
solid
trying to
one,
put
actually.
there.
With
And
the,
I know people are getting a little testy, but
No, I like
I
that
have-
actually.
I agree.
I could see that.
With
Yeah.
Philly going down, Miami is not my pick to make it out of the East because I don't see enough in anybody
I
else.
can't see Miami. I don't see Miami beating the Bucks because I don't
They're not-
think that
okay.
I don't think they have an answer for Giannis.
Okay.
Adebayo,
They're gonna line Adebayo. They're gonna line Adebayo up at the in front of the basket, and Darius to come down the pipeline.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
that's what Toronto did. Toronto
They got
didn't do anything
defensive
special.
play.
They
y'all
just built
forgot
the wall.
Giannis
You built
mid-range
that wall.
jumper has got better.
It's
Y'all
gotten
realize
better.
his jumper
It's
is
gotten better.
much
It's gotten better.
He's
I don't
shooting
know
about
about that.
30%. He's shooting about
My girl
he's
just
shooting
got home.
about
So
30% better than he was last year mid-range, and he
still
can
don't
stretch
know.
out to the 3-point line.
I'm
mean,
just telling, I think it's the physicality of a Miami team. I think it'd be a similar story with Toronto, but I think that with Miami, you're gonna see physicality and some frustration from the guys, from the Giannis and them, because I just think that they're gonna be out toughed. I think that Giannis gets frustrated, and you're gonna see that wall at front of the basket. It's gonna be a wrap.
Nobody on Miami can guard Giannis. Nobody can contain him.
All right, so then before we get out of here, everybody make your final prediction, and I'll go last. Obviously, I gave you half of my view. I think I gave you a whole view throughout the show, but everybody make your finals picks. We'll start with Matt, Mr. Segway.
Yeah, to go to the finals or the overall finals, because I think we know everyone
To go, just pick your 2 teams to go to the.
Yep, 2 teams, Toronto
Both.
and Clippers.
Tony.
how can I mean, that's what I've been going with this entire time. I'm going the Raptors and the Clippers, and I'm going with the Clippers to win it all.
Steven.
Lakers, Bucks, Lakers in 6.
Will.
Chalk, 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 chalk.
Relax,
Sorry.
dude.
Hey.
Relax.
Sorry.
I got the Toronto Raptors and Los Angeles Lakers with Toronto winning back-to-back championships.
Oh my goodness.
And then I've told you about the show. I got Lakers and I got Miami, and I think Lakers still come away with the title this year.
Hey, real quick before we end it,
Wait a
because
minute,
this is
Josh,
my first
you got
stream.
Miami going to the finals?
Yeah, he said he called them coming
Yeah.
out of the East.
He said that. You got to pay attention.
I had
Hey,
Philly.
I
hey,
didn't hear
Jimmy
him say
G.
it.
Hey, that's
Say
not
it.
far fetched, JB.
not.
That's not
I'm
far fetched,
sorry.
bro.
It's
It's
not.
not.
I was looking up stats. I didn't hear him say that. But
He was prepping.
okay.
So everybody go ahead
Okay.
and drop those social media handles. before we
Real
get up
quick,
out.
yeah, because this is my first Roundtable live stream. I never dropped my social media
boy.
shit. So it's at Tony Guzman Jr. or is it at Tony Guzman Jr.? I actually don't even know. So at that point, I'm down. Leave me alone.
You've been drinking, huh?
Yes, sir. And I got work tomorrow. I'm on the
Hold
Eastern
up,
time
guys.
zone, bro. I gotta be up at 5.
Oh, that's right. You're in Michigan now.
Yes, sir.
Steven?
Well, you can follow me at Mavs over Clippers in 6 Twitter, and you can also follow me on Instagram. _ride_.
You know what,
7.
Steven? Just because you've been dogging me, bro, this entire time.
I'm not relaxed.
Matt?
You can find me with less hot takes than either.
Give me final say. Give me final say over
Let
Steven.
Matt give his damn social media, Tony.
I'm sorry. Steven is riding me this entire stream. He's been riding me, bro.
Really quick.
Hey, Tony, aka Erica.
All right.
I'm out. That's it. I'm out.
All right.
And that's gonna do it for this. Oh.
_ Broski21 on Twitter. I thought I had Tony's back, but he'll cut me off from my social media, so it don't really.
I love you, Matt.
I love you too, Tony. Hope we see you next week or something soon.
Oh shit! Am I invited back? Yeah, I'm there.
That's gonna do it for this roundtable, the Clocker Sports roundtable, man. This thing gets live every single time. So glad you could join us, and be sure to check us out next week, same time, different topic, and it's probably gonna be just as wild. We'll holler at y'all next week, man. Damn, I tried to cut Will off. Will look,
bro.
it's first come, first serve.
Wow.
You gotta be active.
Hey, at Big Will C77 on Instagram and Twitter. And that's, as I always say, that's not the.
I also figured out my handle. It's at Tony Guzman Jr.
This is why we weren't able to get through everybody. That is exactly why.
It's all good, brother. William D.
I love everyone, including Steven and JB.
And that's going to do it for this one. We're done with this roundtable. We'll catch you guys next week. Everybody have a good night. I'm putting you on a 2-drink minimum next time. No, it's